Can we turn a desert into a forest? It might sound like a crazy question, but the answer is yes. And it's already being done in some parts of the world. We are going to look at 3 amazing afforestation experiments that show us how the Sahara Desert is the largest hot desert in the world, covering more than 9 million square kilometers across northern Africa. That's an area larger than the entire United States. The Sahara is so big that it can swallow up entire countries within it, such as the nation of Chad, which is located right on the edge of the desert. But while the Sahara is a massive area, it wasn't always this way. In fact, during the 11th century, the Sahara was covered in lush forest. Then something changed. The climate shifted and the forests turned into desert. This transformation caused massive dust storms that blew across the Mediterranean, affecting areas such as Greece and even Western China. The winds still blow today, only now they affect major cities such as London and New York. So turning the Sahara back into a forest would have global implications. The first step to turning the Sahara into a forest is getting rid of the sand. Sandstorms are actually one of the biggest challenges for any plants trying to grow in the Sahara. The wind picks up sand particles and hurls them through the air, where they act like tiny projectiles that damage leaves and even strip bark off trees. Luckily, there are types of trees that have learned to adapt to this environment. The most famous example is the Sahara silver wattle. It's a small tree that grows long, tough branches near the ground, creating a protective wall around its thin, smooth upper branches where the leaves grow. These trees can survive in sandy environments, and they can even grow in sand dunes. However, they don't form true roots, which means that if they are uprooted, they won't survive. Their root system consists of a thin layer of tissue that anchors them in place. This also means that they can't spread their roots deep into the ground in search of water. Therefore, they rely entirely on rainfall, which is extremely rare in the Sahara. When it does rain, however, they are able to absorb large quantities of water very quickly. They use this water to produce small amounts of very nutritious pods that are a rich source of protein. Locals harvest these pods and eat them as a vegetable. The Sahara silver wattle is not only a great food source, but it can also help other plants grow by fixing nitrogen in the soil. The process of fixing nitrogen involves converting atmospheric nitrogen into a form that can be used by plants. This is important because the soil in the Sahara is very poor in nitrogen, making it difficult for plants to grow. By fixing nitrogen, the Sahara silver wattle helps to improve the quality of the soil and make it more suitable for growing crops. In addition to improving soil fertility, the Sahara silver wattle can also help to prevent soil erosion. The roots of the tree, although shallow, help to hold the sand in place and reduce the impact of wind and water erosion. This is important because soil erosion is a major problem in the Sahara. The wind easily picks up loose sand particles and transports them away, which can lead to the formation of sand dunes and make it difficult for plants to grow. In recent years, scientists have been exploring ways to use the Sahara silver wattle to restore degraded land in the Sahara. The idea is that by planting the tree, we can help to improve soil fertility, prevent soil erosion, and create a more favorable environment for other plants to grow. However, the Sahara silver wattle is just one species that is being studied. Another is the African mahogany. This fast-growing tree is native to the lowland forests of West Africa. It can grow up to 30 meters tall and has a straight trunk with a diameter of up to 2 meters. The wood of the African mahogany is strong and durable, making it ideal for furniture and other high-quality products. But what makes this tree particularly interesting is its ability to grow in degraded lands. It can tolerate poor soil conditions and can grow in areas with little rainfall. This makes it an ideal candidate for growing in the Sahara. Scientists believe that the African mahogany could play a key role in restoring degraded land in this. Its deep root system could help to stabilize the soil and prevent erosion. Plus, it can grow in poor soil conditions, so it doesn't require a lot of maintenance. In addition, the African mahogany is a valuable timber species, so it could provide a sustainable source of income for local communities. This could help to alleviate poverty and improve the overall economy of the region. Of course, there are challenges to growing a forest in the Sahara. The climate is harsh and unforgiving, and there is very little rainfall. But with careful planning and management, it may be possible to create a thriving forest that can provide a habitat for wildlife, prevent soil erosion, and provide a valuable resource for local communities. But what if we want to grow a forest somewhere else? In Scotland, there is a place called the Dundregan Woodland. This is a large area of mixed forests that has been planted over the past 50 years. The forest covers an area of 14,000 hectares and is home to a variety of tree species, including oak, birch, rowan, and pine. The Dundregan Woodland is a great example of how a forest can be created in an area that was previously barren. When the project began in the 1960s, the area was a barren, rocky landscape with little to no vegetation. But over the years, the forest has grown and now provides a valuable habitat for a variety of wildlife. The creation of the Dundregan Woodland is a testament to the hard work and dedication of the people who have been involved in the project over the years. It is a great example of how a forest can be created in an area that was previously barren. But why is it important to have a forest here? Well, for starters, forests are essential for the health of the planet. They absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen, which is essential for us humans to breathe. In addition, forests provide a habitat for a variety of wildlife and help to protect the soil from erosion. Planting trees is also a great way to honor the legacy of those who came before us. Many of the trees that were planted in the Dundregan Woodland were planted by volunteers who wanted to give back to the environment. They knew that the forest would provide a valuable resource for future generations and wanted to be part of that legacy. But what about when we try to grow forests in places where there already is vegetation? On the island of Hawaii, there is a place called the Hawaii Tropical Botanical Garden. This garden covers an area of 40 acres and is home to a variety of tropical plants and trees. The garden was created in the early 1970s and has since become a popular tourist destination. The Hawaii Tropical Botanical Garden is a great example of how a forest can be created in a relatively short period of time. The garden was started from scratch and has since grown into a thriving ecosystem. But why is it important to have a garden here? Well, for starters, gardens can provide a habitat for a variety of wildlife. They can also provide an important educational resource and can be a great way to promote conservation. The Hawaii Tropical Botanical Garden is a great example of how a garden can be used to promote conservation. The garden is home to a variety of endangered and threatened species, and the staff of the garden are actively involved in research and conservation efforts. So is it possible to turn a desert into a forest? The answer is yes. From the Sahara silva wattle to the African mahogany to the various tree species growing in the Dundragon woodland to the diverse tropical plants in the Hawaii tropical botanical garden. There are many examples of how forests can be created in areas that were previously barren or covered in desert. Of course, it takes time and dedication, but it can be done. The benefits of having a forest are numerous. Not only are forests essential for the health of the planet, but they can also provide a habitat for wildlife, provide an important educational resource, and promote conservation. So if you're in a dry desert area and you want to see what it would look like as a forest, just plant a few trees and give it some time. You may be surprised at what you see.